Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Cat's Track. Thanks for subscribing, liking, and sharing this with your friends. Today's episode is with our friend Brad Field. Brad was born in Campbell River, BC, where my grandma used to live, and has been in Calgary for nearly 5 decades and loves it here. He tells me that his family members have made their own path and possess unique qualities that make them all very special, and that he learns from them each and every day. So nice. Besides Brad's loved ones, he's extremely passionate about community service and entrepreneurship. Friends, you'll find his full bio attached. Brad, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Catherine. Thanks for having me. It's a real pleasure to be here.
I'm looking forward to this and seeing what you have to say. Are you ready for the questions?
Oh, awesome. Yeah, fire away. I'm good to go.
Awesome. Okay. Always curious to know why you do what you do.
Oh, I love being around people. At the end of the day, my businesses that I've operated, I've been in lots of different industries in different countries all over the world. And it's the people. That's where the magic happens. And so, leading companies, working with people, developing mentorship, all that fun stuff, and just seeing them succeed. I love the team atmosphere. I work alone as well too, but I love working together as a team, coming up with a common goal, and then working through the process of having that goal met. And then when you succeed, there's nothing better. When you work alone and you succeed, when you win, you look around, there's no one else to share it with, right? So I love the fact when you can look around the room and start high-fiving and have that great celebration around success. So, yeah.
Oh, I agree. When my dad was alive, he had a lot of dadisms, and I love to plug them in every time I can. Yeah. And this reminds me of one that he used to say, no one gets anywhere without everyone.
100%. Going back to my late father, he taught me something he was old school, right? Firm hand, being raised by a father like that. But the one thing I'll take right to the end is, take care of family and treat your friends like family. And I live and breathe that every day, and it served me well. It gets me into trouble sometimes because not everybody sees it the way I see it. But I just love taking care of people, working with people, mentoring people. And it's a great place to be. And so, my businesses and working in the community, have afforded me that, and I'm doing what I love, and I get paid to do it. I make a living doing it. So what else can you ask for? It's great.
I love it. Well, your servant's heart has been on your sleeve as long as I've ever known you. So well done.
Thank you.
What about your top 3 things that you want to share with us today?
Oh, today, well, the thing that I get asked mostly these days is why am I running for mayor? 2021. So that seems to be the popular question. I mean, 5 years ago, maybe it would have been a different answer, different points. But today it's, why am I running for mayor? And, been in Calgary for nearly 5 decades. Love the city, met my wife here, married my high school sweetheart.
Aww.
Raised 3 wonderful kids. And to your point, my introduction earlier, I learn from one of my kids every single day. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't learn from my kids. They've made me better people, or better person. So it's fantastic. So, for me, I look at the city, and we've gone through some tough times. We're in tough times. COVID hasn't been friendly to us, even during a poor economic situation as well. So it's been piled onto us dramatically here. And I just see this lack of leadership within the city, and no collaboration and so forth. And it saddens me. I think we need some positive leadership. So, I'm happy to lend my skills to that. I have a proven track record in leadership. And then, I want to rebuild that job flourishing environment, business environment that we've had in the past. I started my first business in Calgary when I was 12 years old. I incorporated a commercial cleaning business at age 12. And I bought my first real estate when I was in my teens, and just built businesses because you could, right? Calgary was the land of opportunity. And so you come here and people from all over, or even if you're already here, you have this wonderful environment to build businesses, dream big, and Calgary made it happen for you. But now we've got these roadblocks in place, and it isn't a business friendly atmosphere anymore. And so I want to get back to where jobs and businesses can flourish again. And that means, we've got to remove some of the roadblocks and just make it easier and make it inviting, and not just, easier, but encouraging, where people go, Calgary's where we want to be. That's where we want to set up shop. And so, on that, and then, at the end of the day, deliver good services to citizens of Calgary at a reasonable price. And, when I listen to the narrative coming out of City Hall these days, it's either or. Either you have to raise taxes or we have to cut services. That's the only two options. As citizens of Calgary, that's the only thing you hear from City Hall is either raise taxes or cut services. And I'm saying there's got to be more options than that. I think we can maintain taxes at a reasonable level and still provide good services, but we got to get inventive and creative of how we operate the city. And there's lots of savings that can be found. And I've been a vendor with the City of Calgary for 25 years now, and I see the waste that goes on, and not because people are bad people. Everyone that I come in contact at the City Hall over the last 25 years, and city employees and so forth, are good people. They show up every single day wanting to provide good value for the citizens of Calgary. But the system doesn't allow them to do that. That's the problem. It's not the people that are broken, it's the system that's broken. And so I think we can fix that. So yeah, there's the top three things that I'd love to leave with the listeners.
I really love that, Brad. May I go a little deeper?
Yeah, please do.
Especially now that you've said that you're running for mayor. Of course, my passion around politics. So
of course.
Okay, here we go. So I know that I mentioned to you that I'm helping a vertical farming business, and we're going to be, it's coming out of Quebec. We're launching in Alberta, in Edmonton, probably Red Deer next, and we're probably thinking of skipping Calgary altogether and go to Saskatchewan, because we know that our time is worth money. And if we want to go where the soil is fertile, really, right? I mean, vertical farming, fertile, that's supposed to be a funny, anyway.
I get it.
We're thinking of skipping Calgary.
Right.
And this is my home. I am ashamed of this.
Yeah. That rips my heart out. That in itself, where you've got a wonderful idea, you've probably got funding, you've got ideas, you've got a team, and you're going to skip Calgary. That's embarrassing. That's unforgivable.
Yeah.
We got to do better than that. But that's not the only story, right? I mean, yours is just one example of what I hear on a daily. I've got people, friends of mine, that are doing business and have been in Calgary for 50, 60, 70 years, paying taxes. Their operations are in the city of Calgary, and they're giving up and leaving the jurisdiction. Now, only by a mile. Just go outside the city of Calgary, right? They want to go to Balzac. They want to go out to outlying areas where there's no roadblocks and the tax levels are less, right? So what a shame that we're doing this to not only companies that are already in Calgary, driving them out of Calgary, but companies that want to do business in the Calgary area, like yourself, and they're skipping Calgary because it's not business friendly. Unacceptable. That has to change. And hopefully, if I'm successful in October, that will change almost immediately. We have to change the narrative around that. We have to get back to where Calgary is the place to do business, and from all over the world. And we'll support the people that are already here, the businesses that are operating here in Calgary, but we'll also invite newcomers from outside. And your story under my leadership, not going to happen. You're not going any other jurisdiction other than Calgary. Yeah.
Okay, and then from the business side, that's one thing. I'd also like to hear your opinion. Of course, mine on Green Line. What's yours?
So Green Line, I'm in support of world-class transportation for a world-class city. Right now, we're trying to get to that world-class status back for the city of Calgary. And I truly, sincerely believe that we need world-class transportation. That being said, the timing couldn't be worse, right? Financially, for the city of Calgary to spend billions of dollars on public transportation. We do have federal and provincial funding in place But yeah, I can understand the polarization discussion around that and the hesitance around moving forward with Green Line. But if we're building a city for the future, for the next generations, proper full public transportation is necessary, in my opinion. So I am in support of world-class transportation. I'm not necessarily in support of how Green Line has unfolded and how City Hall has handled it. I think it can be done better. Yeah, I look forward to that.
You also mentioned a line from the airport.
Right. Thanks for mentioning that. Yeah. So I'd like to expand on that too. Any world-class city in North America, or major city in North America, has a connection by rail from their international airport to downtown. And so that in itself is a game changer. But I'd like to also expand that to a further discussion of having rail from YYC through downtown and out to Banff. I think that's an opportunity that is being missed right now. We have tourism sitting on our doorstep, knocking on our door, and they literally land at the airport and they never see the city of Calgary. They go right by, straight out to Banff. And wouldn't it be nice if we could capture some of those tourism dollars in downtown Calgary, have them buy 2 or 3 meals, stay a night at a hotel before they head to Banff, and then catch them on the way back too as well. I heard stats coming out of YYC that 80% of our tourism people that land at YYC never see the city of Calgary. 80% that land. Like, how are we not captured? There's a market literally at our doorstep.
Yeah.
And we're not answering the door. They're ringing the doorbell, but we're not answering. Right. Wow. And so wouldn't it be nice to just capture 50% of that 80%? And how many more millions of people would see the city of Calgary? And then, you look around the BMO expansion, around the convention business. It's all intertwined, right? So if we bring more people to do business here and trade shows within the city of Calgary, but give them a reason to say, hey, I really like this place. I'm going to bring my family back next summer for a vacation. Or they go back to their company and say, hey, we're looking to expand. What a great place to expand our business into the city of Calgary. And here's the reasons why. That's the narrative that I want, is a multi-pronged approach to how we rebuild the economy in the city of Calgary, because it's not all about just innovating and so forth. It's talking about tourism and trade shows and conferences and how they all intertwine together. And that's also why, you look at the arts and culture in the entertainment district and the arena. It's all multi-pronged into the same reason, because it supports a world-class city. And that's what we need to do, is we need to get back to that world-class status, and that'll bring the economy back online.
I love it. Okay, now on the other side of the equation, with regard to philanthropy and charities, we know that the dollars are drying up. Sponsorships, donations. As you know, I'm part of the Rotary Club of Calgary, so very aware of the charities that are always looking for money and support, and rightfully so. Yeah. What would you say to all the charities right now, if they were all in one room, about how to approach the good work that they're doing in the community by keeping their lights on for the next few years? Right.
Yeah. Well, we have to acknowledge that, hey, there's only so many dollars to go around, and in this economy, it's a tough slug. And, my charitable work, my board positions that I've had in the past, the thing that I've recognized, and more often than not, is that there's $1 available. Just assume that there's $1 available, and then there's 20 agencies fighting for that single dollar. And so we all end up with either 5 cents, which we can't do anything with anyways, it's not enough, or it's the old 80-20 rule. One of the charities gets 80% and the rest fight over the 20%. I've always wondered why different agencies don't come together and unify and collect that single dollar and spend it wisely, right? And so this whole silo effect, it creates a challenge for fundraising, right? And when there's only $1 available and there's multiple agencies looking for that $1, even if you get your share, it's not worth talking about. It's barely enough to keep the doors open. So I would say, not just in trying times, but going forward, unify. If you have the same value system, you're fighting for the same, charitable status and the same reasons, value system and so forth, why not unify, and why not collaborate together how to best spend that $1? So that would be my advice.
Well, our listeners who know me would think that the last two questions were plants, and they weren't. Everyone listening, I know it sounds like me, but it's not. Those are awesome answers, Brad. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
And what about the new frontier or horizon crystal ball after your mayor?
Wow, after I'm mayor, yeah, thank you. Very positive. Yeah, it's funny. All my life I've been an entrepreneur, building businesses in different countries and different industries and so forth. And, I'm at this wonderful juncture in my life where my businesses, are operating with or without me, which is great. It's a great place to be. And this opportunity arises where, I can give back to my community. And so I look forward and, Calgary, we're in deep shit. Let's call a spade, excuse my French. But you know what? Through crisis comes opportunity. And I see this as a massive opportunity to rebuild the city, right? And build something new, something innovative, something we can all be proud of, right? And I just think it's not about you and me, Catherine. We've made our mark in life, and it is what it is. It's about the next generations. It's about my kids, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. That's why I'm involved. That's what I'm building a city for. So, for the people that are, arguing about don't spend a dime in the city of Calgary, we can't build Green Line, we can't build the arena. You know what? That's great. That'll solve the short-term issue of, maybe property taxes holding property. But then what are we going to have as a city 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 20 years from now? We're going to have a hollowed out city that's been gutted, that has no infrastructure, no vibe. We've already lost probably one generation that has come out of university. They have no job prospects, and they're looking around a city and they're going, what's here? There's no vibe. Yeah. Everything's old, everything's crumbling. And so what I want to do is have the next generation that comes out of university and say, wow, I got a job, a good paying job in the field that I studied in. And wow, I can now take a train out to Banff to go skiing instead of having to drive. Or better yet, I live at my parents' place because I haven't been able to afford my own place. So I'm living with my parents, and I want to work at the ski hill in the wintertime, but I can't afford to live in Banff because it's too expensive.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if I could commute to work every morning?
Take a
train to work in Banff. And Banff has a negative employment situation. They can't find enough staff. Now you've got a whole great generation sitting in Calgary that could work in Banff in the busy seasons. It solves a bunch of issues. So I just, let's build a city for the next generations, not just the generation that we're talking about today, right? We've got to think for the future.
Let's go back to the money that it takes to do those sorts of things. Now, Green Line, you said, I think you'd mentioned something about it being, the money being allocated for Green Line could only be used for Green Line. Is that correct, or how does that?
My understanding is that, the federal funding and the provincial funding that, they're squabbling about whether the provincial funding is coming or not, but let's assume that it's allocated for a Green Line type of atmosphere. If Green Line doesn't happen, it's not like we have $2 billion coming from the feds or the province that we can spend on something else. It's like very similar to the Olympic discussion. A lot of people understood that when we voted no on the Olympics, that $3 billion that was allocated for the Olympics, that was ours to spend now. Well, It wasn't. It was only coming if we were successful in the bid. So I think that, the Green Line is very similar. So again, this is one of our opportunities where we can actually get something from the feds. Usually we're the donators. This is the one time that we can maybe claw back and take some of the money back for us. So, I think it's a great move.
No, very good.
Yeah.
Brad, thank you so much for joining us today. I wish you great success in being our next mayor. I'm sure you're going to get there. Who better? I mean, running all the businesses that you have with the heart that you have for community, you've got it all. You've got all the sides we're looking for. So I wish you great success.
Oh, Catherine, thank you so much. You're a rock star. Keep up the good work that you're doing.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you. Everyone, Brad Field, our next mayor. Check out all the good work that he's done. And please watch all the podcasts that he's going to be on. He's going to be talking about all the different subjects that you're going to be interested in. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for joining us on Cast Track.